What is up, all you gamers? Got a special announcement to kick off this recap. It's now the Razer Recap, brought to you by Razer Huskerrs. Here on out, we're going to call it the Razer Recap, which is a pretty cool name.
I've been teasing it for like 3 weeks at this point, so I'm glad it has finally come to fruition.
Yes, it is finally here, and they are finally here to stay, so we hope you guys all enjoyed the official Razer Recap. Let's get into it. A lot of new games out there releasing. It's been a pretty hectic week. We got Halo Infinite, we got Battlefield 2042, and Shroud speaking out against it with a few hiccups here and there. He has bounced back. He keeps on playing the game. I don't know whether or not he's being paid to do so, but still a game with many issues out there, including some bloom. I think the main thing for me was watching Shroud for 3 hours in the server issues. I think 3 games in 3 hours on opening day. It's had a slew of issues so far that Shroud has not held back in calling out so far.
Rather bloom than some nerd lasering me across the map. See, that's exactly why they added bloom. They did it so that people like you could have a fair chance. It makes sense. I get it. It just doesn't feel very good.
I think weirdly enough, this is probably the worst release of the big 3 that we've seen, being Vanguard, Halo, and Battlefield. And that's hard to do when you have Vanguard out there. And so it's seen a lot of problems. We've seen similar conversations actually around Vanguard and Battlefield with the bloom in the game and people saying, hey, this doesn't belong here. We don't want it. It rewards worse players. And so Shroud just overall not being happy and posting his hashtag sponsored by EA post, I think is just a bad look overall.
Yeah, and then you have, I think it was the clip where he was at the interactive map where he's bouncing a plane literally off of building after building, which is, yeah, evidently pretty funny to see. Although I think, correct me if I'm wrong, across all 3 releases, kind of sign of the times, I think we've already spotted cheaters in all 3 games.
Yeah,
which is just, I mean, it sucks, but Shroud not holding back is always a great thing. And we'll talk about another Battlefield 2042 big old story next time. But yes, or at least coming up sometime soon, Battlefield 2042, what are your thoughts so far? Speaking of the devil, when it comes to releases out there, this one's going to drive a lot of DMs. It's the opening for Halo Infinite, and it also seen, I would say, certainly some issues out there with people randomly being banned, dropped from games, lagging out of games. Certainly there are issues, but of course it happened to someone like the newly signed Optic ZLaner, who also experienced a ban bug that was going around. I mean, a lot of people are experiencing this, not just ZLaner, but of all people, if you know, you know. It sucks when ZLaner has to tweet out, hey, I've been banned in Halo.
I think it's just the game, bro. I think it's just like picking me out of the squad and wants to shit on my day. I'm joining, or am I? I'm already in there. Yeah. Is he really giving me a key? Can you? Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can leave party. Hold on. Let me give it a shot. I swear to God, if it's like an hour or something, I'm gonna lose it. User is banned. Nice. And it's giving me no time. It's not telling me how much time I have.
Well, that's not good.
I feel like he was probably enjoying it at the same time too, because he knew the reason for it, but he gets more flack than anyone about, you know, getting banned and the reasons he might have gotten banned. And so tinfoil hats are definitely out. It was because he was disconnecting, like you said, for matches. I think Halo had the least amount of problems from any of the games we've seen so far. I've played it and I got disconnected from a match, but I'm not an Onyx ranked, you know, player like ZLaner is, so not as big of a deal there, but definitely ridiculous. I haven't looked at any of the, you know, like I said, tinfoil hat guys channels yet to see if they made a video about it, but I imagine there's got to be one out there now.
Yeah, I mean, my girlfriend got banned, all right, and let me tell you, she was not dropping an immaculate number of frags. I'm pretty sure she's not cheating, but she was kicked from game after game, and certainly a lot of issues out there. But yeah, still a great release so far. I think on the esports side, especially joining it, Halo announcement has been probably the biggest one of the week so far, but Halo certainly having its issues, as ZLaner was also banned for a short period of time. And one of the more discussion pieces out there that I love talking about is Sir Timmy. If you guys don't know the FPS god, iiTzTimmy has done a few runs here and there and tried to do so in a solo stream fashion, most notably known for, of course, his one in Apex Legends from Bronze to Predator, which was an incredible run in a single stream, I believe around 60 hours or so, 55 hours or so. Correct me if I'm wrong. This time around, trying to do it, though, in Valorant.
See that, chat? Yeah, my arms are fucking, they're chalked. Yeah, my body, not so well, but overall, up here, we're good. We're good. We're mentally good.
And this caused a huge discussion because his series does involve him going through all of the ranks in a game. So this time, Iron to Radiant in one stream. He did fail. He made it to Immortal 3 and quit after 64 hours, which is nuts. The debate here being not just the fact of what the heck does he use, like what is keeping him
Right.
awake, but also Smurfing. It's been a huge issue for Riot Games, especially with League of Legends, and now ironically with Valorant, as he was actually banned early on and then unbanned. It caused a bit of debate on a series involving Smurfing.
But the one thing I don't like is that 90% of the content is Smurfing. Your boy Fetus, thank you for the 2 months. Like starting from Iron 1, you're just Smurfing on everyone, dude. Okay, to an extent, like I don't mean to sound on the Toki, thank you for the 2 months. I don't mean to sound hypocritical because obviously I played on an alt account and the elo is like lower immortal in Diamond 3 when I play with Pokey. But going from Iron is like, that's the reason I didn't want to ever do that, is like you're completely ruining people's experiences.
I personally definitely don't consider it Smurfing. I know he's in those lower levels for a little while, but his goal is not to stay in the lower ranks. His goal is to climb up to the max rank. And so to me, that doesn't feel like Smurfing in the same way. I just find it interesting that he couldn't, you know, quote unquote, couldn't do it in Valorant the same way he could in Apex, which goes to show like, okay, well, maybe this is not possible in some games or is difficult and might not be good for his health. Personally, I'm hoping he does Halo pretty soon.
Yeah, I just hope he does. I mean, again, it's weird. It's a conflict because I love watching it. It's super entertaining. Although the few games where he is rising those early ranks, you do feel bad because it's not close. He's stomping on kids. He is ruining experiences. That's why someone like Shazam spoke up and said, yeah, like, you know, a lot of pros, they do Smurf at one point or another, but not many do it for a series, and you do feel bad. So it's certainly a great debate out there, but hopefully going to be trying some other games as well. And will he retry Valorant? He has teased it, but can anyone actually do it? And like I said in the first story of this episode as well, speaking of Battlefield 2042, what I kind of really brought out some big attention was Dr Disrespect upset that he was not involved with the launch like other big streamers were, what caused him to speak out against EA and bring forth the fact that he has now also been shadow banned and apparently blacklisted by EA.
I've been shadow banned from EA. I'm on a list. I mean, that's just touching. Like, since the purple snake scummy ban, we've taken a hit on so many different things behind the scenes, champs. We've taken a hit on so many things, not just the contract, the original contract, which we're adding that. But we've taken a hit on so many things, man.
What a week for EA too.
I still just don't fully understand what that means. Like how do you know that you're blacklisted or shadow banned, and what does that mean? Are you just not getting any offers from them? Can you not play in any tournaments in EA games or like work with partnered streamers with them? I have no idea, but it's so weird how different games and different studios are treating Dr Disrespect, because we see that on EA side, or we go over to, you know, good old 343 and Halo, and supposedly he's getting his own skin at this point. And so it's just weird, you know, how people view him and treat Dr Disrespect.
Yeah, and certainly I hope creator skins are in the future.
Right.
I think he's just really playing the persona that he loves to play. But I think that really means like blacklisted being that Shroud has, who knows how much Shroud was freaking paid for the launch of Battlefield 2042 to say, hey, hashtag sponsored by EA.
Yeah.
I got to imagine Doc formerly partnered with them and now not being for the launch and being one of your bigger YouTube streamers alongside Tim the Tatman. I think those are the top two most relevant ones right now.
Right.
You got to question like, okay, why are they not paying me anymore? I believe that's probably why he made it apparent that he was blacklisted, because it had to have been a large sum of money that he lost out on, which he goes on to elaborate saying there has been so much defamation here. I've lost out on probably millions of dollars of opportunities. But to your point, there are some people, sponsors, sticking with him and others being totally against him. He guarantees this is tied to his Twitch permanent ban, which is, it makes you all the more confused what the heck is going on.
There's I think we're okay to say this. What's the company that he works with? I think it's the drink company that he works with.
Game Fuel?
That it might be them, but whoever made their cards of different like streamers and stuff. I
Yeah,
saw
Game
yesterday that American Dad was posting about it, how there's only like 5 Doc cards in all of them, and so he was like trying to open them to get a Dr Disrespect card or something like that. And so it's just crazy how some of the companies are like really sticking with them and really still like lifting him up, but then at the same time he's lost on so much opportunity, which I'm sure is part of that lawsuit and what he's suing Twitch for, because of all of the lost opportunity and lost just massive amount of money.
Yeah, Doc is now spoken out again. Last time it was Twitch, this time it's EA. Who is going to be next that Doc calls out? And the World Series of Warzone did happen over the past couple of days. I would say possibly one of the better Warzone clips I think I've ever seen, and a great end of the season for this year of World Series of Warzone. A $400,000 event, $300K for the main event, and of course a $100,000 single game of Warzone, which is nuts. And I don't think we could have asked for a better finish than the king of Call of Duty himself, taking it in one of the biggest clutch forms ever. If you guys have not seen Scump winning the World Series of Warzone solo YOLO drop, it is one for the ages for sure.
Oh my god! 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 Oh my god, babe! 100K!
And correct me if I'm wrong here, but this feels like the king of COD, right? Scump, king of CDL, competitive COD, against the king of Warzone, that being Aydan in this situation.
And Huskerrs.
Isn't Aydan the top earner in Warzone?
I need to recheck how it actually finished out this
Okay.
year, but I believe it was Aydan, and then Tommy is up there.
Right,
I mean,
but regardless, you saw him play against Aydan right there at the very end, and it's kind of funny to me.
poetic.
Right, and I know Aydan is absolutely filthy, amazing gamer, but to see a Warzone player, using the riot shield and playing how Warzone players do, versus Scump, who was just like playing out of his mind, not using a riot shield, it just ends up killing multiple riot shielders, was incredible to me.
It's like you're trying to make a comparison, like bring it back to like I always do, like to CSGO, right? You have a 1v1 in a stereotypical situation, you use the AK or the M4 or the AWP, right? You got like your usual weapons that pros in the game know, all right, these are the best 1v1 weapons, the most standard, and all of a sudden someone comes out with like a PP Bison or like and it's like Scump literally denied doing the riot shield strategy, which won the first World Series of Warzone, and we saw all the top pros. If you knew what you were doing, you had a riot shield on your back or stuns, right?
Yeah.
And so for him to take down not only Aydan, but he also took down Huskerrs, and he was taking down riot shields the entire way through. It's just, I didn't really think about the king of Warzone versus the king of Call of Duty. That's a great angle, but it just, I cannot, literally, I don't think we're ever going to see a better finish to a tournament than that.
I think it's just impressive to see, and that just goes to show how much of a future that CDL pros have in something like Warzone. And like, why wouldn't you? I mean, how much did he win?
$100,000.
100K. Like, that's probably. I mean, I'm gonna speak out my butt. That's a lot more than he might have been able to make this year, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think people have actually mathed it out what Optic made for prize pools throughout CDL season, but this also brought him to $1 million plus for all Call of Duty earnings. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he made more in one Warzone match than Optic did, or he did for his prize split, which was around $70,000+ throughout the entire season, which is nuts. I will say, when it comes to the actual event for World Series of Warzone, Call of Duty pros certainly struggled with rotations and actually when it came for a different format. But yeah, it's going to be cool to see that every time a Call of Duty pro retires, he has a new scene to go right into. Scump takes your $100,000 solo YOLO drop and one of the best Warzone clutches of all time. As per usual, hope you guys all enjoy the Razer recap. Keep an eye out on all social media. We're going to be doing a Razer giveaway probably sometime soon. So keep your eyes peeled. Until next time, you guys take care of yourself, and we'll see you back here sometime soon. Bye.
Bye.